Hi, my name is Clint Neal.
Hello, this is Shane Neal.
We're with the Neal and Neal team here in the San Antonio and surrounding areas. Appreciate y'all tuning into this video. The topic we're going to talk about today is what should a seller know about an appraisal? And first off, I'm just going to kind of explain what an appraisal is. It's an opinion of value where an appraiser comes to your property. It's 9 times out of 10 you're going to see it when a buyer has a contract on a seller's home where the mortgage company orders this. And during that time frame, they're going to be looking, of course, to see if it meets value. Another time you might see an appraisal is if a seller is doing a pre-listing appraisal to come up with a value as well. Shane will go into a little bit more topics of what they actually look for when they come to the property.
Yeah, so diving into that, so an appraisal, once they have been hired by a bank to assess the property and determine the value, there's a ton of factors that they're going to look in. They're going to look at the floor plan, the square footage, the quality of the construction, what upgrades have been done to the property. All of these things are key things that they use in order to determine the ultimate value. Most importantly, they're going to pull sold data and compare your home to homes that have sold in a certain amount of time frame, usually starting within your subdivision and then working out until they can find like property. This all aids in creating that value, which then is their goal is obviously the sales price of what the seller and buyer has agreed upon is that contract price. That, of course, is the value that they're shooting for, and now they're just looking at all the data in order to justify that they can get to that price. And once that appraisal is done, it is looked over, reviewed by the bank. They'll actually issue it, the appraisal, which is the value that they come up with. Now, there's multiple things that at that point that could happen. I mean, it could come in higher, which is a great position for a seller. It's not a bad thing at all. If it comes in lower, could be a gap there, meaning that property did not meet the appraisal value that we're under contract in. And at that stage, there's multiple times where negotiation can happen in order to come up with a win-win scenario. We can check to verify that the actual appraisal report is correct, if there's no errors. Everyone's human, errors do happen, so there are some cases that they might have the square footage wrong and we can verify that it's actually higher. So there's things to look at that once the appraisal report is done.
Yeah, and I think the biggest thing, if something like that does happen, I mean, there's ways to go back with the appraisal like Shane mentioned, but it's not a dead deal. I mean, there's negotiations that can happen between the seller and buyer to come up with a win-win where everybody's happy and moving forward. So I think the biggest thing is just consulting with the agent on the front end and really pulling data and trying to price that property exactly where it needs to be, where you're not overpricing it and then the expectation this comes in and it's just a letdown kind of thing. So you really want to look at that on the front end of it.
Yeah, that's where we really step in and can give our expertise on doing really a lot of what the appraisal people do is what we do in order to determine the proper list
It's the same
price.
data. I mean, we get the same data from where they get it. So hope that little tip just kind of helped y'all out with it. If y'all need help with that kind of stuff or you need help selling a property or anything, feel free to reach out to us. Send us an email below at the email address. We'd be happy to help.
All right, thank y'all so much. Have a great day.